Hi, I'm Insomniac, otherwise known as Sammy J. So I haven't made a video in a few weeks. I can't even remember when I first put that video up. I think it was sometime in February, actually. Goodness, that is a while away. But we have been so busy, what with appointments, not just my own, but also my children as well. So many appointments. Well, so there were some things I forgot to mention in my last video, symptom-wise. So I thought of it shortly after the video was made, and I just quickly jotted a few things down so that I could mention them in the next video, which I am now doing. So, symptoms-wise, the things that I missed out is I can get dry eyes, sun sensitivity with my eyes, like literally, as you can see, I've got my curtain pulled because the sun gets in my eyes. It's like it feels like, it burns like like a gremlin or something, or the Antichrist. So yeah, if I'm out of the house for any period of time, I have to wear sunglasses because otherwise the light, it just makes my eyes stream and it is not comfortable at all. I have skin sensitivity as well, mostly to things like bathing products or perfumes. That's kind of a new thing. That's only really been, I would say, the last 6 months or so. Like, have I got anything there at the moment? Not really, no. Like I'll get like redness sort of around here that looks a bit like a chemical burn, but mild chemical burn. And so what I started to do was maybe only put perfume on an hour after I'd had a bath to make sure, the pores had 100% closed. But even then, I'd get that sensitivity. I'd get sensitivity there. It would like kind of like burn a bit and like be itchy. And I just want to like get it off. But it's already seeped a bit into the skin, so you can't exactly get it all off anyway. That was just a childhood teddy bear you saw there, my Ellie Roo. Okay, sun sensitivity, perfume sensitivity, headaches I forgot to mention, some of which have actually been quite bad migraines lasting more than a week. Yeah, those are bad when I get those and nothing gets rid of them. Like not even really strong medications will get rid of it at all. Like I've tried, I can't take codeine because I'm actually allergic to codeine. So it feels like my throat's closing up when I have it. So I don't have it anymore. What am I talking about? Codeine. There was something before that. I wasn't much talking. Oh yeah, and I tried a tramadol to see if that would help with the migraines, like get it away. Took it one time and it worked once, but another 2 times that I tried it, it didn't work at all. So, and obviously ibuprofen. What's the normal painkiller called? Paracetamol. Neither of those work, not even in combination. So basically when I get a migraine, I am screwed until it's finished. I get not just like ulcers, but like I haven't got one at the moment, but what I call blood ulcers or blood blisters, like on the inside of my cheek and at the side of my tongue as well. They could be quite painful, and I get those probably about twice a week. Yesterday was bad because I had a really big one on my inner cheek and I had a really big one on the same side, but my tongue, sort of like midway, my tongue mid-length underneath and sort of out to the side as well. So, oh my God, that was crazy trying to eat and drink. I was trying to drink a lot of tea because that's the way I usually make those sorts of blood ulcer things go away, is if I drink a hot drink, it kind of makes it dissipate a lot more quickly. So I don't know if there's anything scientific in that or not, but so there was that. Dry mouth. I'm not sure if that's my medication. I've been having pain as well. I'm not sure if it's wisdom teeth coming through. If so, it's 3 at the same time, which I don't know. I'd think that's highly unusual to have like 3 at once, unless they're like buses, but I don't know. And I don't know many people who've had wisdom teeth, so I can't ask anybody really. Or like they've only had 1, not 3 at the same time. So I'm not sure if it's my wisdom teeth coming through, because it's like they start to come through just almost to breaking the skin point. This one actually has broken the gum slightly. My other one feels like it's about to, and the top right has. Top left, nothing happening there. So I'm actually not sure if it's 3 wisdom teeth coming through at once, or I've got a bit worried because what the endocrinologist was saying about that growth hormone thing, it can make your bones grow. So I'm just praying that it's not like my jaw growing or anything. I don't think it is. I hope it's not 100%, because that would completely freak me the hell out. What else? My sleepwalking's come back again, but I don't know if that's due to anxiety, because it has been related to anxiety with me in the past. And dry cough. I think I've wrote that there because I was meant to mention that to her. The thing is, and I can't remember if I've said this already, so I do apologise in advance. She asked me, first of all, the endocrinologist, do you smoke? I said no. And then she asked if I have a cough. And I guess it's because she asked about the smoking first and then the cough. That like completely freaked me out. And I thought, oh no, does she think I've got like lung cancer or something, or a tumour on my lung? So I panicked and I said, no, I don't have a cough, but I actually do have a dry cough. But I don't think that's anything to do with my previously having smoked. I think it's actually to do with my allergies, because they do play up this time of year. They have been for about the last month, I'd say. We're in, what are we at now? Oh, I've not even said the date. And I've not got my watch. Okay, so from memory, I think it may be the 25th of March today. But I think it is, yeah. So Friday the 25th of March. I don't know what that was in relation to. What was I talking about before? The date. Oh yeah, so it's the 25th of March, and I'd say since about early February, maybe just a little bit before that, my hay fever has been like playing up something chronic. Well, not chronic. I've had it worse. But it's been mostly affecting sort of like me, like sore throat, a bit stuffy in my nose, and it gets a bit blocked, and it's so annoying because like, at night time it makes my nose like whistle and like just make these noises, and so it disturbs my sleep, and I end up, when I hear it, I end up just sleeping downstairs because I don't want to wake my partner up, because I know that it's annoying waking up to something like that. What's that? Oh my god, I am so sorry. Well, that's all I've got written here at the moment. They're the things that I forgot to mention before. I had a kind of thing about what I would talk about today, and oh, that's one thing. So you may have noticed in this video, and probably the last video, although I'm trying to be better with this one, is that my attention span is not good. I do not have ADHD. What I do have though is bipolar, and at the moment it is rapid cycling. So and I know what's caused it. For once there actually is a cause. But I'd say maybe last July 2021, my cat suddenly started losing weight, like, fast. And so we got into a vet. By then he'd lost maybe 2 to maybe 3 kilos. And so we got him seen by the vet. The vet turns around and says, oh, he's got mild heart failure. And mild heart failure, also diabetes, and mild kidney disease. So yeah, so they basically gave us a choice of yeah, trying to keep him alive a bit longer, although they never said it, they didn't put it that way. They said, you know, basically let him live or put him to sleep, because it will be difficult because of the diabetes and stuff as well. So, but I was like, no, he's still quite happy in himself. It's just, you know, the weight loss I'm most concerned about. And also his fur condition wasn't very good. So, yeah, so we came home armed with insulin, and I was giving him insulin twice a day, several months. And, you know, he was back and forth. At first he was going to the vets every week. And then after that, he, for a little while, I think he went 2 weeks. They said they'd see him in 2 weeks' time. That was back in November time. That was in November. And then, so we thought, oh, you know, he's made a turn, you know, he's doing good, actually. And then they said, you know, actually, no, he's lost some more weight. I was like, oh, for God's sake. And we had him on kidney food, because they said to change his food, which was really expensive stuff. But it seemed to make his coat better, and he was eating it. He was eating more. He was drinking loads. So that was then. We thought they'd say, oh, yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks. See him in 2 weeks or another month, you know, not doing too bad. And no. They said they wanted to see him in a week's time. And then it was at that point they turned around and said to me, like, he hasn't got long. Which, of course, I was totally unprepared for, because I'd seen online they could live a year, 3 years with kidney disease, you know. So this was, like, really shocking to hear, you know, prepare. And it was the first time it had been said, really, since he was first diagnosed. So, anyhow, we brought him home. Before that, I think he made it to the next appointment. He did, yep. And they said about putting him down. I just thought he was going through a bad patch and that he'd perk up. Because the thing is, he'd start to get a little bit better, and then he'd do a complete 360 again. So it was really difficult to know whether to put some more faith in him that he'll pull through. And, like, I knew he wouldn't live forever, but might get another few more weeks out of him, or a month. I was hoping until at least we could have Christmas with him. But that wasn't to be. So we brought him home, and then a couple of days later, he'd gone off his food. So then I started hand feeding him. And then, yes, hand feeding him. He wasn't drinking much. I was basically hand drinking him as well, like giving him a, what do you call it, like filling up a tablespoon with water and, like, letting him lick it and stuff. And then I said to my partner, I was like, he's not got long, like, at all. And then that night it got a little bit worse, and he actually cried out twice. And my partner had gone to bed, and so I had to make the decision myself quite quickly to take him to the vet and have him put to sleep. So yeah, that was on the 15th. It ended up being the 15th of December that happened. So that really, really hit me. I'd already started to become more unwell with my bipolar, I'd say, since we saw them in the November and they said he wasn't doing good. And then when he went, I just, mania. But thankfully the antipsychotic that I'm on, the antipsychotic that I'm on works mildly as a mood stabilizer as well. So I don't think it really works very well as a mood stabilizer. It's stopped me going into psychosis, which obviously is absolutely brilliant. But it's like instead it's made me rapid cycle since November. So I'd say maybe 10 to 12 times a day. Like most of the time I'm hypomanic, but 10 to 12 times a day I get dips where my mood's lower. I can't even think. When my mood's lower, no energy, and just want to be by myself and hide, basically. And so it's up, down, up, down, up, down, 10 to 12 times a day, every day since the end of November 2021, and we're now 25th of March 2022. Don't worry, that's kind of in hand. I've got an appointment and hopefully we'll be put on a mood stabilizer soon. So yay. Hopefully a weight neutral one, because I won't go on anything that's going to make me put on any more weight again. I've been battling for years to lose what I've put on. I've lost a bit, but the last, I'd say, few months I've also gained about 2 to 3 kilos, so I'm not happy about that. So we'll sort that out. So right, I mentioned all that stuff. So that's it. I've got some interesting things. I was going through my blood tests, back to endocrinology again, or just overall health, and I looked at my January bloods and I compared them to, was it my November bloods? Must be, or December, something like that. So my IGF-1, which is the growth hormone, the level of that is actually 34.4, and it should be between 12 and 30 at my age and sex. So it is higher than it should be, yeah. Another one that's higher, but given my age, that's normal, I reckon. My cholesterol is 6.2 when it should be, and last time it was 5.5, and it should be under 5. I've got to get that bit down, but it's just butter, My LDL cholesterol is high, at 3.95, and it should be under 3. HDL is 1.8. It should be under 1.2. My adjusted calcium is measuring at 2.6 when it should be between 2.2 and 2.6. So I am at the very high end of normal there. So I would actually class that myself slightly raised. Urine sodium is still under 20 when it should be, I've got the figures here this time, when it should be between 40 and 220. So it was under 20 before as well, like the last time, but they haven't actually said what the actual figure is, just this under that figure. The urine osmolality was 193, previously 154, and it should be between 500 and 850. So yeah, that is like super low. My prolactin is slightly raised. It should be under 700 and it's 736. And the blood test before that, it was at 956. So it's come down since last time, but still too high. What else? Oh yeah, and then there's a couple that I've put on they're not too high, not too low, but I'm a bit worried. And that is my Igf-l, which I think is kidney function. So it started out, that's on another page here, yeah. It started out at 96 2 months ago. And then that was back in December. January, it was 84. And then February, it went down to 76. So in 2 months, it's gone down by 20. So I do actually find that myself quite worrying. I don't know why that would happen and so quickly. So I am going to mention that at my next appointment. Why does one eye look darker than the other? I haven't got a clue. I don't know. I caught my reflection. What else? There was something else. Oh yeah, and cortisol, okay, is measuring at 440, previously it was 335. Now it should be above 350. Now with this one and the prolactin, you're meant to have taken at 8 o'clock in the morning. So that would mean you'd been awake basically 2 to 3 hours. And then that's how they get, you know, whether it's too high, too low, or whatever, what the reading. Now the thing is, I'm awake for the day at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. It depends, you know, how many times I've woken during the night and if I've given up and it's just like, right, I might as well stay up because I'm not going to get any more sleep. That usually does reach 2 or 3. I feed the cats at 3, so well, 2:30 actually. But yeah, between 2 and 3:30 in the morning is my wake time. That's that. So I'm still awaiting my Holter monitor. Let's do this. I'm still awaiting my Holter monitor, which my GP referred me for. They referred me for it actually in December. Because I was getting I still do. I was getting a lot of palpitations, but a lot of fluttering as well in my chest. Pardon me, sorry. So I was getting a lot of fluttering in my chest. So yeah, and palpitations, and also having weirdly like low heartbeats. Like, so resting, it could go down to 48. Which is very strange, I know. That's not even sleeping, that's like awake. And that would be fine if I were an athlete, but as you can see, I am not an athlete. I'm not even close to that. So I'm like couch potato almost, just a little bit above that. And that's only because of the hypomania at the moment. What was I going to mention? Oh yeah, that's one thing I was going to mention. You can't really see it in this video. I'm trying to look to see. I'll tell you one thing you will see. So it looks like I'm wearing blusher. I'm actually not. For the last, I'd say 2 months, it's been looking like I've got a light tan. And what's me? It looks like I've got a light tan and that I'm wearing foundation and blusher, but I'm not. So I find that really, really weird. I don't know why that's happening. I don't know what that means. But for me, that is a tan, because if you see how pale I am here, that is the colour my face should be at the moment. And like, it's not. It's not. It's my face is darker. So yeah, and obviously we're only in March, so it 100% cannot be a tan. Also, when I tan, I burn and then sometimes tan, but mostly I don't actually. So it's definitely not that. Okay, so thoughts. This is the interesting bit. So the thoughts I have, well, the first one is the endocrinologist. So possibly a pituitary tumour with growth factor, hormone, and prolactin secreting. So yeah, I could agree with that. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, I can't find it here. Where is it? I haven't. Something's your calcium. Oh yeah, adjusted calcium. Did I mention that? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. So the adjusted calcium is right there at the top end of normal. Yep, so I mean, it could even be doing something to produce calcium. I forgot. I don't know if you can see it, but my lip line is dark. That's been so since about 2015, but a new thing's happened just above my lip. Look, I could get it in there. So there's like a thing here that does that, like on the outer bit. I don't know if you can see it, but I don't know. But an extra bit of hyperpigmentation. I've still got it on my wrist, this wrist. And like my knees are a little bit sort of hyperpigmentated as well, darker. So yeah. All right, so I'm so sorry. I'm going to try not to jump anymore because I'm annoying myself with this. So thoughts. Possibly growth factor and prolactin and calcium secreting pituitary tumour. Now, I looked up on that again earlier today. I had looked at it before, and yeah, it's a little bit scary actually. But one thing I came across today when I actually typed in high calcium and high prolactin secreting, then I came across something which you probably all know of, but the first thing I've ever heard of it is something called a MEN1, MEN and a 1, which I think, can't remember 100%, but it's something to do with, I think it's like some kind of genetic mutation that causes tumours or pituitary tumours. It can also cause tumours in other parts of the body too, and it could be hereditary. If you have it and you have children, you can pass it on by like 50% or something. So the thing about that is, one thing that I forgot to mention before, and again, is stomach acid. Now, I have suffered from stomach acid basically since having, trying to think, definitely some point after having my second child. So that was back in 2005. So, I mean, if it's, and that men thing, MEN1, the secreting tumours and stuff, there is actually a type of tumour, secreting tumour, that can cause you to have excess stomach acid. So now I'm thinking, oh my God, what if I haven't actually, you know, what if it's not only been 8 years of me being ill, like, well, with all of these symptoms every single day, 8 years. What if, actually probably a little bit longer, maybe 10, 12 years. Maybe it's been longer. Like, I did actually say to my endocrinologist, she was asking about what I'm like when I'm normal, and I was like, well, what is normal? Like, my whole adult life, I've basically had symptoms or had varying degrees of bipolar. So I actually don't know a normal, healthy adult life. Like, I actually really don't. And that's quite weird to think about, actually. That bloody teddy bear in the background's really getting on my nerves. I'm so sorry. And I've gone off topic again, haven't I? Right, so we're on about that. So yeah, so I was thinking, if I do have a brain scan and they find a tumour or more than one tumour, then I may, at that point, ask for the MEN1 genetic testing. So only at that point though. So other thoughts. So don't know if I mentioned it before, but Addison's disease is sort of my front runner at the moment. Thyroid, could it be underactive? Well, not necessarily underactive from what I see here, but my TSH, which I think is thyroid stimulating hormone, yeah, that's at 2.9. The last time it was 3.3, and normal is between 0.5 and 5.0. So I'm kind of bang smack in the middle of all of that. So I can't really see much there, but my free T4 measures at 14, and the blood test before that, it measured at 13, and normal results are, normal range is from between 12 and 22. So that is kind of at the lower end of normal, really. So there might be something in there, but that leads me to, years ago, back in 2020, I had a, what's it called, like a food sensitivity intolerance testing done, but it also checked for hormones, environmental factors, quite a few things. I think it searched like 700 things. And of course, yeah, there were intolerances. We can go through that another time. I'm fine for the moment. If you actually want me to do that video, if I get like 5 people asking me to do that video, I will definitely do it. But until then, I'll leave it because it will be quite a while. Oh no, where am I at? That's it. And then under hormones, it did actually say that there was a, what's the percentage? 95% imbalance on my T3 levels. Now, I've never had my T3 levels checked. I know it's thyroid, I think. They've never checked my T3, only ever the TSH and T3, T4. So I am going to ask, I think, for that just to be checked, because maybe it's possible I've got like an underactive thyroid, but just ever so slightly, but the symptoms are affecting me a lot, possibly. Or like maybe, I know with diabetes you can have it like borderline. I don't know if you can quite have thyroid problems borderline. I mean, is that even a thing? Like, do any of you know? Because I'm not sure. I might actually check that out later. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. So back again, I'm going to stay on topic this time. Just one thing leads to another, doesn't stop. Okay, this is where my brain works. Like, it's crazy. So we've done Addison's disease. So thyroid possibly underactive. Diabetes insipidus. Now, these are the things I originally went to the doctor with. I said I thought I possibly had Addison's disease or diabetes insipidus due to mostly the incredible thirst all the time, or and weeing all the time. I literally every half hour wee, drink. Crazy. So also diabetes, perhaps borderline, because I measure a 38. I was previously a 40 and it should be under 42. So I'd say 40, 38. I wouldn't want to be on the borderline of that. I wouldn't want to be on the borderline bloody anything, but possible. And then there was POTS, and I can't remember what that stands for. Something to do with, though, a whole bunch of issues you can have with it. A lot of my symptoms, actually. And basically it's to do with from lying down or sitting down to standing up, your blood pressure like changing dramatically in that period of time. And I did do that test where you lie down and then you do your blood test from lying down, blood pressure lying down, and then you sit up, do it again, stand up, and then you do it at immediately upon standing, the blood pressure, and then I think after 30 seconds, after 1 minute, and then maybe one further one, I can't remember. But yeah, my blood pressure went right into what's it called, hypertension. Yeah, from lying down or sitting to standing went right into hypertension. I went really high. Yeah, so that's POTS, and like a lot of the symptoms I have could be easily explained by that. And then there's this other one. I think I mentioned it before because I didn't know how to pronounce it then. I still can't remember how to pronounce it now. Sjogren's or Sjogren's syndrome. Sjogrens. Basically, mostly to do with the dry mouth and everything. Can't remember all the symptoms of that anymore, but I know all of those things I've mentioned there. I have virtually every single symptom for every one of those, just because the symptoms are so bloody vague, that it could just line up with almost anything, basically. So I'm going to have another blood test on Wednesday next week. It's basically a repeat. I haven't even got it with me, have I? No. It's basically a repeat of the last bloods I had done in January, so it'd be repeating those again. So they'll do that, and then if she wants a further blood test doing, which I'm hoping not, because like I'm not going to have any blood left. Well, no, obviously I will, but I hate blood tests. I don't make a huge deal about it, but I really don't like having them done. Then I might actually ask, if we're talking about testing anyway, to have my pronunciations. Aldosterone. aldosterone. Check that level, which I think is ADH level we need done as well. And adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, that will need doing as well. Those are actually both to do with Addison's. If those come back too high or too low, can't remember which way around it is, I haven't wrote that down here, then that could definitely indicate it. So there's that. Oh, I did talk about the blood. Yeah, so basically I've been awake 6 hours by the time I've had my blood test, not the 2 to 3 hours, which is why there's a discrepancy between my urine sample, which obviously is taken when I wake up in the morning, and my blood tests that are taken 6 hours later. So yeah, there's going to be a huge difference in levels with that. You know what? I think I have gone through almost everything we were meant to discuss today. That's great. So yeah, I'm not discussing that. That's ridiculous. It's too long. So yeah, we've gone through that. That's good. Oh yeah, I've also got a very high urine output, which is 5.7 litres, just over. But I actually, on that day, I remember I drank 3.5 litres that day, yet passed nearly 5.8 litres. So that can't be normal. I've gone through all of my highs and my lows, blood and urine. Oh, I forgot to mention, my omeprazole stopped working late last year. So I'm literally having stomach acid indigestion like every single day, and for much of the day as well, because that's not working. And then I got switched to lansoprazole, but then I saw that increases cortisol and a few other things. So I thought, right, well, I'm going to wait until my blood tests are done and then I'll start taking it, because I don't want anything I'm taking to interfere with the results, because I want it to be a true reflection, like the readings to be a true reflection of how I am day to day. Oh, so I've been trying to stick to Gaviscon, which is fantastic for an hour, and then it just bloody doesn't work after that. And that's me taking 4 tablespoons, which is the 20 mils highest dose. So so that's all that. Right. Oh, here we are. New symptoms. Oh no, I think I've gone through the new symptoms. Yeah, I did. Oh, there's a few I didn't put down. So the hyperpigmentation that I showed you, the scars, tanned face, flushed cheeks, acne, which has been new, that's been about a month, joint pain since November, don't think I mentioned that one, the wisdom teeth I have, done the mouth ulcers, sensitivities, acids, yeah, I've had some weird swellings on my finger, I don't know if you can see them, so can we see anything there? On the finger next to my little finger, I don't know if you can see anything at all, but there's like a swelling, oh my god, a swelling just on this finger, just above the knuckle. There's some kind of like fatty tissue swelling, so it feels a little bit numb there. And then there's also one other finger. Which finger was it? For God's sake, I can't see it now. There, I don't know if you can see. Oh god, see it there. No, nothing's showing, but basically it's like a line from the middle knuckle all the way to the babyest knuckle. It's like a skin there. It just feels really, really weird. And I know it looks strange. It looks like there's a lump there, but it's not coming out on the camera. Oh, I could guess. See a little bit of red there, like that area there? You see it? Yeah, it's really weird. So there's that too. And I forgot to mention that to her, the endocrinologist. Also, I've been having like some carpal tunnel like pain. I totally forgot to mention that to her too. So at first with the pain, I wasn't sure if it was the beginnings of osteoarthritis or carpal tunnel. So I did this like little quiz thing. In fact, I think I've mentioned this before. I'm just getting like flashbacks of it. Okay. I think I mentioned it before, but I'll just quickly relay again. In case it's the first time you've watched it and the first time you've watched any of my videos. I only have 2 at the moment, but Yeah. So I went on this website and I had a full picture of your hand because it said like, where's your problem area? So I wrote hand, so a big picture of a hand came up. And then there was like all sorts of little circles, like say they'd be on that knuckle there, the middle knuckle, the first knuckle, and like even skin areas on there as well. And so you point to the bits that are giving you trouble, and you click on them. And then from there, what happened? They just like ask questions and stuff, and like, I just like yes, no, or whatever, and like pointed to other bits. And yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. So it said, first of all, it actually sounded more like it was carpal tunnel, but osteoarthritis came out second on there. And then there was something third. Don't remember what that was. And I've looked for that page again and again because I want to repeat it, but can't find it anywhere. And I don't know what it was. There's that. Here's one. Yeah. I'm very hungry, like all the time, but I get full up really quickly. So, I don't know what's causing that. I haven't got a clue. And then the last one, my memory has now got so bad that I genuinely forget. Like, I'll make myself a cup of tea or some water, and then maybe 10 minutes later, I look to go and have some of my tea or water, and it's gone. Like, I've actually had it. And at first, I thought it was my daughter just like messing with me and like drinking my tea like as a joke or something. But then it was happening when she was at school as well, and like I'm the only person on that end of the living room that whole day. So yeah, I think about 5 times it happened yesterday during the time she was at school, and I was like, I don't remember drinking that. I don't remember drinking that one either. And like, I feel really thirsty still, but it's like, well, I can't get another drink because I know that I've had that drink and my fluid intake would be like twice as much as it usually is, which we cannot have at all because it's already ridiculous the amount I drink. I mean, I've tried to get it down to under 4 or under 3.5 litres, but 4 when it's bad, and occasionally 4.2 I can go up to, but then I end up having to have an early night because I know I can't drink anything else until midnight because I've had my allowance for the day, so I just sleep off the thirstiness. Because that's all I can do. There's no way I can sit up for hours on end and not drink. But saying that, with my request from the endocrinologist to my doctor, she's actually wrote about having the repeat bloods, having the early morning first wee morning sample, and actually, depending upon the results of that, she may want to do a water deprivation test. So there's that too. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention. Now, I noticed this in 2015, and I don't know if it was because I was ill, like really, really, I'm on about psychosis ill, super duper ill. In 2015, I was hospitalised for more than 6 months, but yeah, I noticed something weird, like with my eyes going on, and I don't know if I've always had it or if this is something to do with the illness as well. I'm going to try and show you. If I look there and look up. So with my eyes, I don't know if you can see it there, but I have like a central, I forget what it's called, but like basically there's the pupil, which is black, and then around the pupil there's like this sort of ambery brown colour, and then after that it's my blue. I don't know if it's showing, so I'm not going to show it much longer just in case it isn't, but it's like that in both of my eyes, and I only really noticed it in 2015. So, but I did read tumours can cause that sort of thing to happen. So, I mean, if it is a tumour, I've had it a long time. But I just hope that bit of video wasn't wasted and I won't know until I put it up. So, oh my God. Right, we're at 44 minutes. So I think I am going to have to wrap this up in a minute. We'll give it a few more seconds because it's a very long video. It's longer than my last. So yeah, they'll be doing the water deprivation test. And then there might be a brain scan back way when. They did say, test-wise, what to expect. So they did say about having an MRI and CT brain scan. I think they should scan my kidneys too, actually. A chest scan, not sure what that's for. 24-hour urine collection, I've done that 2 or 3 times now. So hopefully I don't need to repeat that one again. The water deprivation test, which will be at a local hospital, not as local as the one I see her at, unfortunately. It will be travelling several miles, maybe about, I don't know, 10-15 miles to the other place, and I've got to stay there all morning when they don't give me anything to drink, I don't think, and they might take some bloods or urine samples while I'm not drinking. I haven't got a clue. I haven't read up on it, or I have, but I don't remember it. And then the urine and bloods morning, which, yeah, we're repeating for the 3rd time or 4th time now. And then that is that. Now, I think, oh my God, my hair's just such a mess. I think that will be it for today, because I have chewed your ear off. It's been over 45 minutes now. And to be honest, I'm kind of getting tired of the sound of my own voice at the moment, because it's gone on for so long. And I'm so thirsty. And I need a wee. TMI. Sorry. So I will leave that for now. And I'm waiting to hear back, actually, very quickly from Endocrinology to see if my last IGF-1, so the growth factor hormone, if that is still as raised as before, or if it's come down, or if it's remained the same. Because she did say that that was an unusual finding. So the results for that are back. I've checked. They've checked the what do you call it? There's some kind of like system where, that's so annoying, where they read it all. Like the doctors, the hospitals, anyone like that can all see all of your past blood test results and things. Well, I got them to look, and they said the results are back, but they're not allowed to read them. So the secretary can't access that at the moment, like she's not allowed to. So she's going to find out from my that is really annoying. She's going to find out from my endocrinologist whether she's able to pass on those details to me, like the levels of that. I'm really sorry. I'm getting really distracted now, and I'm getting annoyed. So she will check, yes, with the endocrinologist to see whether the IGF-1 has remained the same, lowered, or got higher. And then she will ring me to let me know whether the endocrinologist herself will ring with the results, or if the endocrinologist will send those out in the post, which could take a couple of weeks because they don't do it very fast, or if she's allowed to actually give me a call back with the results. So I said, please do try for the latter, because that would be better for me. So if I hear anything back about that, I will probably let you know, maybe Wednesday, because I'm actually having my blood test Wednesday. So if I hear anything about it, I will let you know on Wednesday, and I will set myself an alarm so I don't forget to actually do a video, because it's just been hectic. I have to try and now organise things a little bit better, but that's one thing I'm not very good at doing at all, is organising my day. Like, it's just been so busy, and I'm just so, my body's tired, my brain is tired, but it's just like that, constantly race, talk. It doesn't stop, which of course is making my insomnia even worse. But that's enough about me. I'd best be off now. Have a nice cup of tea and a glass of water while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil, because I'm just that thirsty. I will check in with you on Wednesday. Until then, If you have any comments, please do put them below. If you've any suggestions, if you've any ideas actually as to what you think could be wrong, go ahead, be my guest. We'll work through it together. Be lovely to hear from you. Yeah, just send me a comment. Let me know if you've watched the video or not, what you think, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye.